Imagine calling someone silly and actually giving them a compliment. In Old English, silly came from the word selig, which meant happy, fortunate, or even blessed. It was a word you'd use to wish someone well, not to poke fun at them. The next time you hear silly, remember it once carried a sense of joy and good fortune, not foolishness. As centuries passed, the meaning of silly began to shift. By the Middle English period, it started to mean innocent or harmless. People would use silly to describe children, animals, or anyone seen as gentle and pure. It was still a positive word, but you can see how it was slowly drifting away from its original sense of being blessed or happy. By the 16th century, silly had taken on a new shade of meaning, weak or helpless. It was often used to describe people who were vulnerable or easily taken advantage of. This shift shows how language evolves with society's attitudes. What started as a compliment was now a word for those in need of protection, not just happiness or innocence. The journey didn't stop there. As time went on, silly began to mean lacking in judgment or foolish. By the 18th century, it was no longer a compliment or a term for innocence. Instead, it became a way to describe someone who made poor decisions or acted in a ridiculous way. The word had fully transformed, reflecting changing ideas about vulnerability and intelligence. Today, when we call something silly, we usually mean it's lighthearted, goofy, or not to be taken seriously. But knowing its history adds a new layer to the word. It's fascinating to think that a word we use for jokes and laughter once meant blessed or happy. Language is always changing, and silly is a perfect example of how meanings can flip over time. Why did silly change so much? The answer lies in how society viewed innocence and vulnerability. As attitudes shifted, words that once meant blessed or innocent started to carry a sense of naivety or weakness. Eventually, that turned into foolishness. It's a reminder that language isn't just about words, it's about how we see the world and each other, constantly evolving with our values. So, the next time you call someone silly, remember you're using a word with a rich and unexpected history. From blessed to foolish, it's traveled a long way through the centuries. Maybe, in a small way, calling someone silly still carries a hint of happiness and good fortune, if you know where to look. Words are time travelers, and silly is one of the most surprising.